Well, hello, With Gratitude Matt listeners. My name is Matt Moran, and I'm the host for the With Gratitude Matt show. Our goal for the show is to inspire our listeners to practice gratitude regardless of how powerful their storm is in front of them. I have learned that oftentimes the practice of gratitude is most rewarding when done on a regular basis. It kind of works like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. And I am so delighted to have recently been connected with today's guest, Nate Forrestel. Nate also lives here in Buffalo, New York, and is an avid golfer. Nate the golfer. I met Nate because my wife saw an article recently in the Buffalo News, and the article was describing his passion for golf and the fact that he's had to deal with the handicap of having been born with cerebral palsy. And for those of you that know anything about golf, and a lot of you, my listeners, know that I love the game of golf, it requires an awful lot of balance, core strength, and those that have cerebral palsy have some muscular challenges. And Nate has been able to, fight through that. And today plays 2 or 3 times a week golf. And follow him on Instagram. It's Nate the Golfer on Instagram. He's got over 35,000 followers today. And I know through our conversation, he's going to inspire you to think about the challenges that are right in front of you with a little bit different angle and with a little bit different look than maybe you're looking at that obstacle today. So with that, Nate, welcome to today's show. So grateful to have you on as a guest.
So grateful to have you.
And I mentioned Nate the golfer. I love the game of golf myself. Golf requires a lot of balance, stability, and there are other sports that I would think could have been potentially easier for you to embrace. But how did you find the passion for golf? How did that get ignited for yourself?
Well, when I was about 3 years old, I watched Tiger Woods and I saw just the unequivocal greatness from him, and I I saw that he took the game of golf to another level. You saw him actually get angry and get mad at himself for hitting a bad shot. And before that, people would just be like, "Oh shucks," and he brought that passion and energy and just overall greatness that you just were just like stunned of, like, what is he doing? Like when he won the 2019 Masters, I'm like I wasn't surprised, but I'll be the first one to tell you I counted him out. I'm like, yeah, huh, but he'll never win again, and he did. And that's what I love about Tiger, because you cannot count him out. And
Yep.
kind of what my story is about.
Well, Nate, so um, you're 3 years old. You get exposed to Tiger Woods. You're inspired by what he's doing. I'd love to hear, anything about your parental influence and how they might have influenced that passion.
Well, my mom was so sorry. I'm 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 very popular, and my phone just buzzed because people like my stuff. I'm like, shh. So do not disturb is on. Sorry. So yeah, obviously my dad, I can attest to. I got my dad into golf. Like
Okay.
my dad hates golf. Will never play golf except with me, which is something. But and that's the same for my mom too. It's not like I was around the sport 24/7. Like my
No.
dad's a basketball coach. Like he's not a golf pro. He's
Yep.
not. So I kind of, because golf is such an individual sport, it's kind of just me. Like I'm the only one in my family that golfs. It's just, but it's not like I always say. The one thing that keeps me going in golf is that the one shot around that you hit it perfect and you're like, oh my goodness, and you want to get you. It's so weird too because you want to chase perfection, but you can't. And that's what I try to preach. Like I always try to make my videos as perfect as possible. But I've learned throughout the 2 years that that's just not gonna happen. I'll go back in videos and I'll be like, like I went back to my old videos from 2 years ago, not 2 years, 1 year ago, and I was like, people actually like this, like because you're always trying to get better. You're always trying to just find passion and find other things that you want to do, excluding golf. Because I
Yep.
just, I just didn't want to be boring and like just do golf because after a while, it's monotonous. So I,
Nate, so I'm just sitting here listening, and I'm drawn. And I'm mentioned the CP that you were born with. Um, can't imagine the physical challenge that must present every single day. I've got a good friend of mine, Eric Zimmerman. I think I mentioned him to you. Eric was the second guest on our show. Um, Eric Zimmerman, also born with cerebral palsy. I met him working at the YMCA downtown Cincinnati, and I've I've just long been really inspired by his mental fortitude. He talks about having a champion mentality versus a victim mentality. Eric is pound for pound probably the strongest person I've ever seen. And I bring this up to you because I'm just curious. You mentioned Tiger Woods and the influence that he's had on your life. Are there people that anybody from your upbringing that jump out at you and say, gosh, you know what, that guy inspired me to do something when I maybe didn't feel like going all in?
well, I, I think it's personally, it's my mom for me because a little background on myself. When I was 10 years old, my dad was doing some other stuff with girls, and my mom. Okay, I'll just be flat out. She cheated. Alright, cool. Oh, not to throw shade. Not. I'm not trying to, you know, be a meanie. I saw my mom just say, all right, screw it. I got Nathan. That's all I need. I only need Nathan. And we got a house. And I watched her every day and she would cry. And I'm only 11, 10, 12 years old. So I, I don't know the whole story. And I watched her go from losing her house, losing her job, to basically having a house and having a part-time job within 4 months. And that really, even though I was 12, and of course I didn't understand at the job at the time, like, what the heck is a part-time job? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So that to me, and to be like, she had nothing in the bank account to get a house within 4 months, because that's crazy to me. And
Yeah.
that's and then and then and then the divorce happened and stuff like that. And my dad got remarried, and once that kind of happened, he kind of, and I'm sorry about rambling, he kind of let go of me and didn't include me in anything. And I watched my mom go through that, and I said, "Oh, okay, well, I really don't like this, but now it's my turn. I have to go through this, and I'm still living it till the day." And I think that's why, part of the reason why Instagram is so nice, because I and that's what made me, like, drive, and made me be passionate about just life and being a- alive, and just golfing and enjoying what I do.
That's awesome. And you have an opportunity to play what, a couple times a week now?
Yes, well,
That's awesome.
because I have to. It's kind of like my job. So I I but a lot of people don't know this, but there are times though, because Instagram, they have time times to post. So I'm up at 4, 5, 6 a.m. just to post. Now, do I fall back asleep? Heck yeah. But
I
it's
hope you do. Come on.
it's tough. But people are like, you really wake up at 4 a.m.? Because people know with CP your muscles get tired, and your muscles burn 2 to 4 times a normal person does. Like, don't you get tired? And I'm like, so I don't care if that video goes viral. If I'm blessed to get that video viral, that's worth it to me. You know what I mean? So but also too, it's an addiction, right? Because you see a video go viral, and you're like a lot of people just say, "Oh my god, my video went viral. I'm so happy. I'm all good." Well, that's not my mindset. My mindset is, okay, how do I get another one to go viral? How do I get that in double A? Because you're never satisfied. You're never like, oh, I'm set for life. I got a video with over 2 million views. It's like, no, you gotta do it again. And you do it so many times, people come up to you and be like, "Oh my god, your videos are awesome, blah blah blah." I'm like, yeah, it's normal to me, because I feel like you have to. You have to be like, this is what I'm doing, period, and that's it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Your commitment and passion is really remarkable. Want to just move to a second. So we both live here in Western New York. You can't live in Western New York without being a Buffalo Bills fan, right, Nathan?
You, I, 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 I said, if I ever become really famous and have the opportunity to meet the mayor of Buffalo, I want to be like, hey, can we make a law to kick all the Patriots fans out? Like, just
Kick
kick
him out.
it. Be,
Yeah.
be like, enjoy Boston, enjoy. There's a lot of space in Maine. Like,
Yeah.
but no,
Yeah.
all jokes
No,
aside.
no. It's good. And I love that you're you're wearing your Josh Allen jersey. I know you've had the opportunity. You've got a close connection to the guys over at Encore Golf. Tell me a little bit about your relationship with Encore Golf.
Well, I'm Encore golfer in the corniest way, not to be corny. My best friends, like they are the first company to say, Nate, and this is only when I had 200 followers. So it wasn't like I made it yet. They were like, Nate, we want you. And to me, growing up in Buffalo, that's that's every man's like dream to have a passion and then have someone from your hometown be like, that guy, that guy's gonna be special. So when people ask me, why do you talk about Encore all the time? I go, because they made a massive risk on me. I mean, they'll say it wasn't a risk, but let's be honest, it was at the time because there. I always tell the guys from Encore, I said, you can tell me the truth, but you don't have to lie.
Yeah.
but no, obviously meeting Josh Allen is the cherry on top, but not only that, he followed me, which is like every man's dream. That's like growing up and even though I hate them, Boston and having Tom Brady follow you. Like that just it, that's the stuff I always tell people. That just doesn't happen. That's like one in a million chances. So I'm very grateful. He signed my Bills jersey so that it's all thanks to Encore and
Well, I'm not from here.
yeah,
I didn't grow up here. My wife grew up in Buffalo, and we're so fortunate to be here today. It's a really remarkable community. I've lived in a lot of other big market cities, and there's no place that supports their local team like Buffalo. And I think we're on the verge of getting a championship here in town.
I would love that. I already kind of told my fans I'm like, just so you know, if that happens, you might have to block me because I will be on, look, I will be unbearable forever. Look, the Eagles, you take the Eagles fans and like take steroids to them. That's what Buffalo Bills fans. I have the gracious opportunity because I work with People Inc., which they help people get independence who have disabilities, and they hooked me up with preseason tickets. Now, this is the first preseason game. Josh Allen didn't play. The stadium was packed, packed. And I'm like, you're telling me all these other fan bases say they're better? Like, come on.
Yeah, yeah. No, he's a neat guy. There's a new ice cream store right up the street from us called C's Custard Delight, and I haven't seen him there yet, but I've been told he's there 2 or 3 times a night or a week. I'm sorry. I'm sure at some point I'll run into him, but I've heard he's just a first class, very approachable, very real guy, and I'm happy to hear that you've had a similar experience with him.
Well, yeah, it's also funny about meeting Josh Allen too is I'm a pretty respectfully, I'm a pretty tall guy myself. Like I'm 6'2".
Yeah,
And I I've never met a person where I've like stood next to him and I shook his hand and his hand's just massive. I'm like,
It's 5 o'clock.
and sorry, thing.
Right.
And I stuck out my hand and I'm like, I walked away from that. I'm like, I feel less of a man right now. Like, I feel like a little. He shook my hand and it felt like rocks. And I'm like, do you just pump steroids? Like,
Yeah.
that's insane. So, of course, I was fighting and nervous and blah, blah, blah. But it's an experience that I can't, like, forget because obviously we all know the drought years and stuff. When you have someone like Josh Allen and you've grown up with nothing, that's something that I will always look at and be like, holy crap, I met the guy who's gonna possibly lead us to the promised land. Like,
He loves the game of golf as well, right?
yeah, he also works for the Encore.
Yep, yep, yep. I
So
thought there was a connection there. Yeah.
so that's how I met him. And
That's really cool.
yeah.
Really, really, really cool. Um, so you mentioned, you touched on, it's impressive. You're up at four. Do you set your alarm for 4 o'clock, or your body just gets up at 4 o'clock?
I set my alarm. I ain't waking up at that time.
Okay. All right. My wife would kill me if I set my alarm for 4 o'clock.
No, no. When people are like, "You're crazy," I'm like, in the business of Instagram, you either have to outwork everyone or people will outwork you. There's no in between. You
Right.
either you either say, like I've said to people before, I will make it hell or high water. I'm going if I had to call companies and be like, hey, like that's the one thing I take pride in. People are like, you just call companies and ask them for partnerships. I go, yeah, I'm not waiting around. I'll dial up the phone and be like, hey, I'm Nathan Forrestel. I'm a golf influencer with cerebral palsy. Can we work together? And 9 times out of 10, it's a no. But the one time it is a yes, that makes it worth it. And people are like, do you really call them and be like, you want to work with me? I go, yeah, because that's how you get stuff done.
Nate, let me ask you a question on the work that you do on Instagram. It's like when you go to bed tonight, will you get up at 4 o'clock tomorrow morning, Saturday morning?
No, it's just on Tuesday.
The next time you'll post will be a Tuesday.
Yeah, at 4 a.m. Yes.
Okay. Now, before you go to bed, will you know precisely what's going on, or do you not already have that up and running?
What, like, what
What post, what you're going to post? Will you have the video already done?
oh God, no. It's no. Heck no. It's like I wake up at 4 a.m. and I'm like, oh, that video looks good. Let's post it. It's not. People ask me all the time, they go, is it planned? And I'm like, privately, yes. Publicly, no. No. It's never
Okay.
planned. It's never planned. I'm like, oh, this post looks good. I type the caption, post. I'm like, it's never planned. You just do the thing that you know what I mean?
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So clearly, hopefully, listening audience, you can hear how passionate Nate is and inspiring. Do you have any goals for yourself set, or outside of what you're doing today that you're working on, that you maybe want to share with some of our listening audience?
I'm gonna I'm gonna do this full time. This is gonna be my career. I've already I've already made it up in my mind that this will be my career. Like
There you go. You're
people
doing it. You're
people
doing it.
people ask me, I'm like, are you going to college? I'm like, no, this is what I'm doing. I my favorite thing is when fans ask me questions about CP. And then they're like, "Oh, by the way, I'm so sorry if I offended you." I go, "Whoa, that's my job. If you ask me a question about CP as an influencer, you're supposed to answer that. Like, that's good." And people are like, "Oh, I don't mean to offend you," but like, I'm like, I'll answer any question, unless it's not the brightest question. If But I think that's something that I've been taught to not have fear about that. J-
Nate, so you, I know when we caught up on the phone today, you train your workout. What do your workouts look like today?
Uh, well, I obviously just got back from New York, so I'm kind of taking a break because that was insane. And usually, usually it's small because I I had a home simulator, but I fell up
Okay.
because of my CP and I broke it. And obviously, I did a GoFundMe, and I didn't feel comfortable being like, "Hey, guys, I need an extra $2,000." Like, you know what I mean? There's stuff that online it just doesn't fly. You know what I mean? So,
You said you have a home simulator?
well, I have a net outside, and I have a simulator, but
I got you. Okay.
I
But now I'm
felt,
talking about like physically training, working out, like just
oh,
strengthening your muscles.
so I go to the I'm gonna I'm hoping a couple things have to fall my way on life, etc. Hopefully, I will go to the gym in the winter because I try to go to the gym in golf season. It's just not the move because it's just so like you go to the gym and I suffer from anxiety, so I can't work my upper body because I'll freak out with unit if you guess it unit. Um, so I work on my lower body, and you just can't get enough training, and training is what I love to do.
Well, yeah, in golf, you don't want to be all muscle bound. You
Yeah,
need that flexibility
yeah,
to be able to move. And yeah, no, I get it. My when I'm training during golf season, I definitely train differently. I
yeah,
use a lot of resistance bands, not a lot of heavy weight, a lot of lower, just functional. I'll say functional movement.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I would say I would do as well. So.
Yeah. Um, well, that's really cool. So we got season opener coming up a week from last night.
Yes.
Can I put you on the spot and make a prediction for the Bills this year?
Well, I do want to tell your audience that I will be live streaming my reaction to those games. And if you think I'm fired up here, should just wait. Um, because I will be just because I want to be able to also interact with people. Like if people have questions, sometimes with Instagram being so quick and so fast, you don't see it. Like I'll get questions like, "I'll finally see it," and it'll be like from a week ago, and I feel bad because that's their job as an influencer. So I am live streaming Bill's game just for the fun of it. I'm not like this expert analyst thingy. Like I'm just here to be a fan. I'm 22 now, so I can drink. So, so
So, Nate, one thing that impressed me when we first connected, when you're talking about just golf, and you went to high school, you played on the high school golf team.
Yeah.
What was that like to play as a man with CP?
Well, well, sp- like speaking of the golf team, just in general,
Yep.
it's really weird. Like coaching, like coach would never. It's hard. In my opinion, it's the hardest sport to coach in high school because you got 17 kids, and instead of saying, "Okay, this is what we're gonna work on today," it just go. And like
Yep.
that's what I don't like about golf, and that's what I want to change because I worked with a coach for one day, not a week, not 2 months, one day, and he changed something in my swing that so I used to not cross my feet, like step over, and now I do, and it creates more flexibility in my body, and it works out amazing. And but that's the thing about golf, that it's so small and so minute that you think like, oh my god, when you see a bad golfer, you're like, okay, well, you need to do this, and this. Well, sometimes that's not always the case. Sometimes they just, okay, I gotta concentrate on the golf ball. I gotta quit picking my head up. It's so small in detail that, especially too, there's no one to help you, right? So if, for example, if you and me go golfing, and what makes it worse is I have CP, right? So my body doesn't move like you. So, for instance, if I play at Niagara Frontier Golf Club and they have 40-foot hills, blah blah blah, and for you, you're like, okay, just hills, blah blah blah, and I'm like, if my golf ball's on the incline, if it's like here, I can't hit it because I run the risk of falling and stuff like and hurting my body. So there's obviously I'm obviously always gonna preach that there are no limits, right? There are zero limits. But at the end of the day you have to be safe and I tell that to people, and people are like, "Oh, so you're going back on your word?" I go, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! There's a difference between safety and pushing the limits. You know what I mean?"
Got to be prudent. Yeah, you don't want
Yeah,
to. Yeah, don't want to hurt yourself.
yeah.
So in your head, do you think you have played your best golf of your life yet?
Oh, heck no, no,
You
eh,
don't think you have?
no, no, no.
Okay.
I, I, I feel. Everyone says I'm getting better, but in my head, I feel like I played way worse than last year.
Okay.
Like, I feel like I regret, feel like I've taken, I can't say the word right now, okay? I feel like I've taken a step back in my golf game that, that when I go back and I remember all the shots I've hit. I remember how it feels. I'll be like, whoa, that's a good shot. And I just I don't know. You always try to get better, and you always, but when you're so fixated on trying to get better, then you almost become addicted to it. You just addicted. Like, okay, I made a 40-foot putt today. Let's make a 45. Let's make a 50. Because you never want to go back down and be like, hey, let's make a 25 footer. They just, you gotta keep going. That's what I always say. Keep going, keep pushing.
Do you have a favorite golf club in your bag?
Oof. Don't make me do this. Uh, So I got fitted at a club champion.
Yep.
I was hell bent on getting a tailor-made spider part, and I could not find consistency was right in front of me in the light. Like I just it was I would hit it and it'd be perfect and then it'd be totally and then it'd be healed. And I was like, okay, I'm done with this. So I sold it to Dick's and I got $150. And I bought myself a Tommy Armor blade putter, which I've had a blade all my life, and
Yep.
I thought I could just switch like that. Boy, was I wrong. I was totally wrong. But I switched back to a blade, and I'm starting to make putts that
That's awesome.
I love. So that
Well, you know what they say: putt for dough, drive for show.
yes,
Yeah. Um, putters are very personal. It takes time to get accustomed to how you're gonna work it. I love working at the game of golf.
yeah.
We definitely have to play sometime, Nate.
Because I think I I'm like obviously on Instagram there's always stuff to work on, but in the game of golf there's always stuff. And that's for me, that's what makes me addicted. Like when you hit like a chunky wedge and it flies over the green, you're like, and in your head you're like, okay, I could have done this and this better, but you would, but it's behind you, right?
Yeah.
So you cannot to be like, oh well, then I got to do this shot now. So it's so hard and like I always say like if you have unfortunate mental challenges and you go, that's even more impressive to me because sometimes I just can't with it. Like my brain is just like, oh my god, like can I get off this golf course? But for those people who are down to it, like I always say when people tell me I'm inspiring, I made it my mission to never I'm gonna say it, but I actually don't mean it. I always tell people I never say the words I'm inspired. And I know I just said it, so relax. So, but I don't want to go around to people and tell people I'm inspired. I want them to tell me I'm inspired. You see the difference? Because
100% see the difference, and I mean, you're living proof of it. I see it. You are inspiring. I can, yeah, I can feel it, and I know our listening audience is gonna feel it as well as they enjoy this show.
yeah,
Um, and I we haven't gotten there yet, Nate, but um, where does faith or spirituality fall in your camp?
well, obviously, I I'm you'd be almost du not can I say stupid on here?
Yeah, you can say stupid. Yeah.
You'd be almost stupid not to believe, because I was only given 72 hours to live, and I always say the science doesn't back it up. So if you say, hey man, I'm only gonna give you, and I'm sorry to just shout you out here, but like, hey man, I'm only gonna give you 72 hours, and you live to 22 with, because I was supposed to be mentally challenged, blind, in a wheelchair, um, a vegetable, and stuff like that, and that's something where I always tell people like, no offense, but if you know me and you know my whole I don't know how you don't believe. But that's the thing too. I don't walk around telling people I'm a miracle because I want them to see it. You know what I mean? Like I don't walk into Walmart and be like with a microphone, be like, "Hey, I'm a miracle." Like, no, I let that light show without saying it, and
What I'm thinking about as you share that, Nate, there are a lot of non believers out there,
yeah,
a lot of non believers. And I often ask myself, what would the world look like if we just had more believers, more people? And, and fortunately or unfortunately, we live in a very comparison world. People, one person is comparing themselves to another person's success, another person's physical abilities, looks, money, whatever. And that is such a dangerous rabbit hole to go down into. And if we were just, I mean, I just want to get to the gratitude side of it. If we were just, again, find the courage to be grateful where we are and
yeah,
how blessed God has blessed us. Okay. Um, and I just feel like the world would be a much happier, brighter, harmonious place to live in. And I'm really happy to hear your viewpoint on it as well. I think it's probably a large part why you are living in that champion mindset, as our good friend Eric Zimmerman talked about on episode number 2 of the show.
yeah, yeah, and I I also made it my mission to never like I'm never gonna like see people and then go on my Instagram and like try to cancel them. Like no, because people make mistakes. Like I I've like people make mistakes. Like I I made a joke that I waved Patriots fans goodbye because I went to last year's Patriots game, and like we all make mistakes, and that's the thing. Like, I that's what I also love about Instagram is you can be like I said before earlier in the podcast. I said how did anyone watch my old stuff because it's not good. There's no shot tracer. It's just me golfing. And, and I think but also too, that segues into my humbleness, right? So like I will always be humble. I don't I that's my just default setting. Privately, not so much. But like publicly, I'm not gonna come on Instagram and be like, hey guys, guess what? I can beat Tiger Woods. Like, no, I'm not. Even though theoretically it could probably get me more views, but like, I'm not gonna say it. Like, but a lot of the world thinks being cocky is bad. Like, you can be cocky, but don't broadcast it to the world. Like, I when I go golfing, I will watch golfers and be like, yeah, I could just destroy. But like, I don't go on Instagram and be like, that 85-year-old, I can kick your butt. Like, no, but it's a like when people, I get a story to tell you when I went to New York a couple days ago, the the head of the company was golfing with me. He's like, "You always humble," and I'm like, "You do you want me to be cocky? I can go from humble to cocky in 4 seconds. Look, but but uh, but that's my default setting. I always say, like, I'm just a kid from Buffalo. I'm not I'm not gonna walk around and be like, "Hey," walk into Tops and be like, "Hey, I deserve a free meal. Give me a free meal. I'm a celebrity." Like, no. If I get that opportunity, sure. Well, like, I'm not gonna walk in places and just expect the world to be given to me. You gotta work for that. Like, of course, I would like to walk into Western like Josh Allen and probably get whatever car he wants, but that's Josh Allen. There's a, there's a very, very big difference to a guy that's going to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, I said it again. I don't care. To a guy who just makes golf videos and only has 20,000 or 30,000 followers respectively. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's amazing, amazing, Nate. Um, Nate, as we kind of close the show up, I like to ask this question. Now, obviously, your cerebral palsy has been something that you've dealt with for 22 years of your life. Continues to be a physical hurdle that you have to face every single day. Um,
Uh, can I cut you off real quick?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just want to tell your audience, if you ever see a CP kid, please don't ever say, "Does it get better?" No. And two, don't ask a CP kid or a kid with disabilities, "Oh, what's it like being not disabled?" Because that's some of the dumbest questions you can ask. Because
Okay.
we don't know what it's like. And that's that's the part I want to change. Like, you don't go up to a person with one arm and be like, "What's it like living with two arms?" Like, no.
He doesn't
But
know. He doesn't
but
know.
you don't know. So if people walk out to me and be like, "Yo, what's it like living with CP?" I'm like, I don't know. Like, it's me. I have CP. It's not something that I grew into. It just I have it.
So let me ask you this. So I guess I feel like in the medical sense, there's been so many advancements and so many uh, disabilities. What have you seen in your lifetime with respect to CP? Uh, Somebody born today versus somebody born 22 years ago. What sort of advancements have there been with respect to one's ability to live? I mean, you're living a full life. I mean, you've got a career, you've got a passion, inspiring a lot of people. Um, what have you seen, and what sort of advancements might even be on the horizon that you've
Well,
heard?
well, I'm as you could probably, as your audience could probably tell, I am a major history guy. I That's my favorite subject besides gym. But like that's my favorite subject to learn because it's about life. Like everything that's happened in the past can be learned about. So when you ask me like what advancements are like, I'm so excited too, and that's what I'm also excited too because eh, at the end of the day, it's not about just golf. Like I'd be interested to see what apps come out to help voice to text to be able like I will tell your audience this. I never type. I always voice to text, and it's literally the just. I'm so grateful for that because I love it because it makes my life quicker. Cause sometimes I'll get text during I'm posting or during I'm doing something like editing, and like I don't have time to sit there and be like, in text. So voice to text is something that I love and I use all the time. But I feel like just making life more accessible, more easier, and I always say just like all like, and that's why I love what I do, because it's never like there's no like barriers on Instagram, right? So like, as you probably know, when you go into college and blah blah blah, there's steps, right? There's hurdles and steps and all that. But on Instagram, it's just like, okay, go. Like, it's never like, and also there's no blueprint. There's no. It's not like a house where you can be like, oh yeah, put that there, put that there. You just work. You work your butt off. Like, and people ask me all the time, how do you get to that level where you're at? And I'm not saying I'm on that level of obviously Josh Allen, but I've grown significantly over time, and I'm like, you just work. You work your butt off. You work your butt off. It doesn't matter disability, no disability, no arms, no legs. It doesn't matter. You just work. And when you're passionate about something so important to you, it doesn't matter what people say.
It's gonna be a really hard ending question here, Nate. So 22 years you've been, formulating your views on life, how you perceive your disability. Um, is there anything that you can remotely say that you're grateful for having been born with something that you had no control over?
The the love of golf.
Okay.
And I know that sounds cliche and corny, but I'm not here without golf. I'm just not. I'm not speaking to you on this podcast without golf. And I if I could obviously have a girlfriend in 2 years, I would golf 7 days a week, 24/7 if I could. Like, I would do that. But but golf has given me a platform that I've kinda, not to sound cliche again, but always wanted. I've always wanted to be like, because I think also as a young man and obviously wanting kids and wanting a family, you want your kids to know who you are, and like, my kids can look back and be like, yeah, that's how my dad worked his butt off to get where we at now. And that's something for me, like obviously that and probably gonna make some people mad, but that's way more valuable than just a slip of paper that says, oh my god, you got a diploma. Like, because you always have to work, and you cannot take days off, disability or not. You can't take days off. Like, i'll I will, if I miss a post, I will go in the bathroom and scream, because that's how mad I get, because this is my this is my opinion, this is my one shot at life. You know, it sound like Minecraft where you can just respawn. And like, you only get one chance at this. So that's why I'm like overly passionate, blah blah blah.
Nathan, you mentioned, you got your mom, you got your father into golf. Isn't your girlfriend now kind of being introduced to golf a little bit as well?
I try. She 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 is what I call a girly girl. So she will go to the mall and have her field day, and I'll be like, can we just get out of here? Like, but, but no, but like a lot of people, I'm glad you asked me that because people ask me all the time. They're like, "Isn't it?" And I'm a very competitive guy. Like, I'll just, I'm not just if I lose, I can just walk away. Like, I'll lose and I'll just be like, man, right? So like, it's actually a good thing, in my opinion, that she doesn't take an interest in golf because there's a very good likelihood that I would just push her out because I'm so competitive in what I do. But that's like, and we've had long talks about this, and I'm like, just support me. That's all I care. You don't have to understand what I'm doing. Like, as a man, you're supposed to provide for her, like the woman. So that's my a little politics, and that's all I'll go. I'm not doing all that, but that's my opinion, right? So like, if she never understands golf, that's cool. Like, because it's what I do, and she likes makeup, fashion, and all the above, and but when you always have that support, it makes your life so much easier. And back to what you were saying, when you have a purpose, when like obviously I I've said this multiple times. If I didn't have her in my life, and her name is Karen, but she's not a Karen. Oh, but if I didn't have her in my life, I wouldn't be as passionate as I am now because I have to do this not just looking at myself in the mirror, but looking at my future. And that's something that, like a lot of people, like I told her, I said, hey, babe, I understand, like you like me, but you love me, and we've been together for now 2 years. And I said, as I get more famous, the world's gonna come after you because they're gonna think you're a gold digger and blah blah blah, and you have to be ready for that. And she goes, "No, I understand." I'm like, "Okay, good." But that's the stuff that you just gotta be ready for. And I
Yeah.
I'm very happy in the way that I manage this, and I
How
mean,
did you meet her?
uh, online.
Online. Okay, that's
Yeah.
cool. Very cool. Do you have any plans together for the weekend?
Um, just, just I'm trying to figure out my stream for Thursday. Hopefully you hopefully I'm so excited for that. Like I said, it's a new thing. I've never done it before, but I've never done Instagram before, and now look at me. So
There you go.
I like so yeah.
Nate, I can't thank you enough for being on today's show.
Thank you.
Uh, you are you inspire me. I love seeing your stuff every day. Keep doing it. Keep working at it. You are inspiring so many.
Thank you.
I I really feel like we are all called to help everybody else reach their fullest potential.
And get get through life that is already negative, already so evil, and so just
Yep.
negative.
And
And if,
and
and if you can sprinkle a little positivity in, perfect.
it's all good. No, and in your perspective on faith and how that can play part in how you live each and every day, listening audience, go back to what Nate talked about there.
Oh,
You find the courage to get to know Jesus Christ a little bit better. Our Heavenly Father, our Holy Spirit, our world would be so radically different if we all just unequivocally believed. And Nate, you are an inspiration. We definitely have to play golf sometime.
Oh, heck yeah.
I'd
I,
love to come up to see you up at Niagara. You can come down to Orchard Park, whatever. Let's stay in touch.
how good are you? Like bogey, double bogey?
No, I I'd say no. I'm not double bogey. I would say I'm a single digit handicap.
Okay, so
Yeah,
it might be a good match.
yeah, yeah. No, I would say this year has been kind of a struggle. I haven't played golf in about a month. I had a surgery on July the 11th. I have not played golf since that day, and I don't know when I'm gonna. I was supposed to play this weekend. I'm not playing this weekend.
No,
Um, not gonna play, but I will. I'll go chip and putt. I'll practice,
that
and
that's half the game right there.
I love it. I'll go over and I'll be over there for an hour or so, chip and putt.
I
Uh,
I I could be there for ever. Like I could
yeah.
chip and pot forever. So
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
yeah,
So I'll be over there probably tomorrow morning at some point.
nice.
But no, listen, it's such an honor to get to know you. Uh, if you ever do, I mean, literally, we live probably 3 miles away from Highmark Stadium. So if you come down here, let me know.
Can,
And
can I park your car in the driveway?
I'll drop you off at the stadium.
Heck yeah! Free parking!
I'll
Dog,
drop you off at the stadium.
listen, parking's insane, so I'll take it.
It is insane.
Yeah,
It's there. So we live. Highmark Stadium is kind of like right in between where we live and Wegmans. Okay.
I
Hi,
I I don't know how to park that well, so I'm just gonna take your word for it.
yeah. But I just know this. I know on Bill's Sunday, you do not want to go to Wegmans at like uh,
and
3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon
oh,
because it could take you an hour to get home.
and you live like what 5 minutes away?
I live 5 minutes away from Wegmans. But if you go at the wrong time on a Bill's Sunday, it'll take an hour,
You
and you
might
just yeah.
you
And
might as well pack a sleeping bag while you're at it.
oh yeah, yeah. But listen, you guys have a great weekend.
We will.
Sleep in tomorrow. Don't get up at 4 o'clock.
I will not.
Okay. And you know what, Nate? I will let you know when this show goes live. It'll probably be a few more weeks, I think, but I will keep you posted on
And
it.
and I will tell people to go follow, or else they will get a knock on their door and be like, "Hey, follow this kid." They're not
Yeah. Yeah.
adult.
Nate, thanks so much for being on today's show. You really are an inspiring individual. When we first connected on the phone, I was so grateful to connect, and I know you're going to inspire so many more people. Um, and you touched on earlier that doing what you're doing on Instagram, getting up at 4 a.m., trying to inspire other people to think about their hurdles with a little bit different lens. You're doing it, man. Keep doing it. Keep at it. We've got the Bills home opener coming up here soon. Listening audience, Nate will be live streaming. So if you want to follow Nate throughout the game and see how he's reacting to the performance on the field, go out and follow him. He'll be live streaming the games via his Instagram page. And Nate, I can't wait till the day that we have the opportunity to play some golf together. You'll probably have to give me shots. I mean, I've seen some of your golf expertise on Instagram, and it's remarkable as to what you can do with that golf club. You know, listening audience, you heard from Nate talk about how he's had to deal with life with cerebral palsy over the last, I'll call it 40, 45 minutes or so. And I just want to share with you a couple things that I think about each and every day as I think about hurdles that are in front of me. We all face obstacles. I'm a big believer at how we embrace those obstacles can, in fact, dictate or have an impact on the outcome that we're looking at. And I start with gratitude. We touched on gratitude throughout the show. Just find the courage to be grateful, regardless of how powerful your storm is. Secondly, be truly present to those you're with. And lastly, pay attention to how you're feeding your mind, your body, and your soul. You are what goes into yourself. So today's guest, again, is our new friend, Nate Forrestel. Nate, thanks for being on today's show. If today's show inspired you in some way, shape, or form, subscribe to the show, forward the show to your friends, and comment on it. We get some of our best feedback for new shows through your comments. And thank you to all those that have commented on the show in the past. Remember, our goal with the With Gratitude Matt show is to inspire our listeners to embrace gratitude, regardless of how powerful that storm is right in front of them. With Gratitude Matt listeners, until next time, find the courage to be grateful. Godspeed, my friends.